Hello, I'm Remi and today I'm going to talk you through our Pawanmuktasana Series B. The Pawanmuktasana Series B is a really gentle, healing, restorative sequence that can be practiced by anybody who is suffering from a low energy, an inhibited movement, maybe suffering from an illness or an injury, which means that you've been told that you can't exercise, but you really still want to keep that body moving. It works by loosening off the joints, removing any blockages, both physically and energetically. And it's a really nice calming practice that is good for anybody and shouldn't really be overlooked. It's a good starting point for anybody who practices yoga or who just enjoys any kind of physical movement or exercise. The practice is a really great way of bringing awareness to our breath. So the movement and the breath is really connected in the body throughout these series. Pawanmuktasana B really concentrates on strengthening the abdominal muscles, toning those internal organs, contributes to healthy digestion, a strong core which helps protect our spine. It's great for anyone suffering from constipation, trapped wind, any bloating, reproductive issues it can also be really helpful with, and diabetes is also it's a really great thing to practice. Anyone with back pain, hernias, or high blood pressure should avoid these movements, especially with a high blood pressure, because we do have our feet above our head in a lot of these positions, because we do the Pawanmuktasana B down on the floor. So just be very aware if you're suffering from any of those things, back pain, any hernias, kind of in that core region. Also, postnatal women should really avoid this series just because it does concentrate a lot on the core, and you might not have that strength sort of built back up ready to take on this series. Okay, so we're going to begin the movements in a nice Shavasana position. So we're going to come to lay down on our mat. And we're going to allow the legs to come down to the mat. And we're just going to take a few breaths in through the nose. And out. And in. And out. Taking this time in Shavasana to really start feeling that connection to our breath. That's very important in the Pawanmuktasana series, to really find that connection between breath and movement. So by just taking a few moments before you start, helps to find that connection. It's also quite nice just to lay down for a moment. So once you feel like you've brought the body into a nice calm state, we're going to come into our first movement. So that is going to be our Pawanmuktasana, our raised leg pose. So you can place the hands down by the legs behind you. You want to keep a nice strong core in this position. You don't really want to be squeezing it so much that you can't breathe. You want to maintain nice simple breath, but just keeping it nice and pulled up and engaged, okay? So the legs are going to come together. Just move up a little bit. And we're going to take one leg at a time, okay? So raised leg pose. What we want to do is we're going to breathe in. Breathe out. And on the next inhalation, we're going to raise our right leg up towards the sky. Flexing the foot, creating that dorsiflexion in the ankle. Trying to keep the leg nice and straight, extension through the knee, okay? Breathing in, and on the exhale, releasing back down. again, we're going to lift the leg up, breathing in. And on the exhale, back down. We'll try that on the other leg. So this time lifting the left leg up to the sky. We're going to breathe in. And breathe out. Really trying to keep those tummy muscles engaged, putting the spine and belly button into the spine, spine into the floor as much as you can. Breathing in, lifting the leg. And exhale, lowering the leg. So this can be repeated between 8 to 10 times on each leg. And as a bit of a variation to the pose, you can also do it by bringing both legs up to the sky at the same time and then releasing them back down to the floor at the same time. So this takes a little bit more core strength, a little bit more stability. May find it a little bit more difficult, but we'll give it a go. So we're going to breathe in and exhale just to prepare. On the inhale, we're going to bring our leg up towards the sky, keeping the feet nice and flexed, the ankle in a dorsiflexion, okay? Knees nice and extended, bringing them up towards the sky. Here we go. And exhale, lower. And one more, inhale. And exhale. Good. Again, that can be practiced between 8 to 10 times. And you can just give yourself a little break before we move on to pose 2. So our second action is going to be our Padasukharasana. So that is going to be our leg rotation. So back into the same position again. Legs down. I'm going to take on our right leg first. Tummy nice and engaged. And what we're going to do is we're going to lift our right leg up towards the sky on an inhale. On an exhale, we're going to allow that leg to drop open to the side, creating a circle, allowing it to come back down towards the floor and release. I'm going to try it on the other leg this time. So inhale, lift the leg. And exhale, drop it out to the side, creating that circle as you lower back down towards the mat. I'll take it again one more time on each leg. So inhale, exhale, trying to keep this opposite hip down onto the floor, okay? And one more time on the left leg. Inhale, exhale, and bringing it back down. This can be repeated going in the opposite direction, okay? So inhaling on the circle up and then exhaling on the lower back down to the floor. So we'll just do one on either side. So inhale and exhale just to get the breath back. Regulate it nice and easy. So inhale, exhale. On the inhale, you're going to take the right leg out to the side. Exhale, bringing it back down. And we'll take one on the other leg. Inhale. And exhale as you lift. And lower. Again, that can be carried out between 8 to 10 times. Moving on to our third pose, okay? So this is going to be our Supta Pawanmuktasana, our leg lock pose. So in this position, I'll take it on the left leg to show you closer to the camera, okay? So we're going to lower both of our legs down to the floor. What we're going to do is breathe in lifting the leg. On the exhale, we're going to try and bring our nose to our knee. What we can do is take our hands behind the thigh for a little bit of an extra pull. So when we exhale, nose to knee. Inhale. Exhale, nose to knee. Inhale. Exhale, nose to knee. Inhale. And exhale, lower that down to the ground. Okay, we can repeat that on the second side. So we're going to inhale and exhale to regulate the breath. Inhale to lift the leg. Placing the hands behind the thigh. On the exhale, we're going to lift up our head and our shoulders, bringing our nose to our knee. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale to lower the leg down to the ground. That can again be practiced between 8 to 10 times. This posture can also be practiced using both knees together. So we're going to inhale, lift the knees up. From here, you can place the hands onto the shins, and as you exhale, bringing the head in towards the knees. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, release the legs down to the ground. Again, this can be practiced between 8 to 10 times. Moving on to our fourth position. This is our Urdhva Rakashanasana pose, our universal spinal twist. Really great pose for giving the organs a nice toning, internal organs. Really love twist in the in this region. That twist really helps to alleviate any pain, any bloating you may be feeling, any trapped winds or toxins can be released. The universal spinal twist is really great for that. So what we want to do is placing legs down. On the inhale, we're going to bring our right knee up. And on the exhale, we're going to allow the right knee to drop over to the left side, okay? As you do this, you're going to allow the gaze to come over to the right-hand side. You can place your hands out in a T shape or up into a cactus shape. Really trying to keep the shoulder down on the floor. And you can just hold here for a moment. Really enjoying that twist in the spine, that opening of the shoulder. Then you can inhale, exhale to come back to the center. And change legs, placing the right leg down. Inhale, lifting the left leg up. And allowing that left leg to drop over to the right. Keeping the left shoulder on the floor, gaze goes over to the left. Holding here, taking some nice deep breaths. When you're ready, you can inhale. Exhale to bring yourself back to the centre. And lower the leg back down to the ground. You can also do this using both of the legs. You can come into a kind of a bit of an eagle pose with the legs, just to increase the stretch into that glute. Okay, so what we want to do is lift the right leg up on an inhale. What we want to do is, as it drops over to the left, we can take this bottom leg and place it on top, and the weight of this leg will pull the right leg over to the side. So just a bit of a variation if you feel like you want a bit of a deeper stretch. If you can link the foot around the bottom leg, feel free. Release, bringing it back to the centre. You can change legs. So you can actually place the leg over the top before you go over to the side, if that's helpful. So breathing in. And as you exhale, allow the legs to open up to the side, looking towards the left shoulder. So obviously in this one, the hips do come off because you're applying a lot more pressure on that top leg. But you're still getting that nice twist in the spine. Holding for a few breaths. And when you're ready, you can inhale. Exhale, bringing the legs back to the centre. And you can unravel the legs and bring them back down to the floor. So, moving on to our final movement. It is our Navasana, so our boat pose. So for this one, we're going to actually come and sit up. Now, what we want to do in the boat pose, this can be carried out either with straight legs or with bent knees, depending on your ability. But this one is a really great way, a really great exercise for engaging that core and really trying to get that belly button into the spine while still maintaining a nice straight back. So you don't want any rounding in the spine, rounding in the shoulders. You want to keep that nice straight line as much as you can, okay? So in our Navasana, what we want to do is lifting the legs. You can lift one at a time if that is helpful. You can place the hands down on the floor if that does help you, or placing the hands out in front of you in a traditional boat pose. Okay, so leaning back as far as you can, keeping the abdominals engaged. I like to breathe in, and on the exhale, lifting the legs. Trying to squeeze those knees in together as much as you can. I find that pointing the toes helps. Trying to maintain keeping a nice straight spine. And release. Like I said, this can be done with straight legs as well, so I'll show you the straight leg variation. It's a bit harder to talk in this position because it's really engaging those stomach muscles. So take a nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, we're going to come back into our Navasana. I like to take one leg up at a time just to really get that stability going. And then if you'd like, you can straighten the legs. Bending them in and releasing back down. So depending on how advanced you are, you can practice that also between 8 to 10 times, but that is quite that gets that digestive fire going. So as many times as you can is really great. So that is the end of our Pawanmuktasana Series B. like we say, all of these positions are really, really great for that gentle, restorative sequence. Any props, any bolsters, pillows you'd like to kind of involve in this series, more than welcome. It can be more of an active or more of a passive kind of sequence of movements, depending on what you want to get out of the series. So that's everything, and thank you very much.